The E excuse missing. Oh my goodness. You see the speed with which it left the screen. Because I know who is behind there.
Nurain. Already Nurain is in my bad books.
Oh, please.
And he wants to compound it. That's just by the way. So yes, I wish the NPP the very best, Joshua.
Yeah.
I wish them the best. I hope that they are able to go through this successfully and beautifully, because it's getting tiring the way they are so divided, and I wonder how they are going to do it. I know they will do it, but I really am looking forward to how they do it when after 31st, how they get back, make the party work again. So yes, we wish them all the best. We'll be here to cover the primaries for you on air, online, on ground as well. So please don't miss any part of it. We will come out with our plan and share it with all of you very soon. But stay with us. We have something good for you on the 31st.
Absolutely. And so we'll invite you to share your thoughts with us as well, get to hear from you on these matters. And we know that during the course of the week as well, we've heard that quite a number of people have moved above the poverty line in terms of multidimensional poverty. We're told that it's declined by about 20%. And I don't know how you feel about that. And I like the war between the OMCs now. Beautiful war. One trying to outshine the other. It's all to our gain, because if at the end of the day they all reduce prices and then you get to buy a liter of fuel at maybe 5 cedis, how sweet will that be? You get to the pump and with just a little over 200 cedis, your whole tank is full. I'm sure you would also love that as well. So we invite you to share your thoughts with us, and then later we'll have a conversation with our colleagues in the media. Some editors will be joining us on Fridays. And then there's that interview with the Member of Parliament for Gushegu also coming up this morning on the show. You don't want to miss that as well. But remember, we're live on Facebook, live on X, and live on YouTube. This is GH Today. And so let's kickstart this morning with our quote of the day. Well, so they say if it's nice, you do it twice. And so, yes, we're repeating that from Confucius, who says it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. So the speed at which you go is not as important as you keeping the pace, making sure that you are going. That's what's most important. So don't stop if it's a good thing, but if it's a bad thing, please stop. That one there, stop. It doesn't matter how slow or fast you are. Once it's bad, stop. But if it's a good thing, please keep going at it. Make sure that you are not relenting in that effort to make sure that you get the best of yourself out there. So that's our quote of the day from Confucius. Now let's look at our video of the day.
That's this song, music from Kwesi Arthur, and I'm sure that you already know what's happening with Kwesi Arthur on the internet in the last 24 hours. He got the whole internet talking about him, from Twitter especially to, I'm sure Facebook, by the time it reaches there, the matter would have been resolved. Is it on Facebook yet?
It's everywhere. Now, Facebookers will not be happy with you this morning at all.
Is there? Oh, okay.
See, Paco is a proud Facebooker.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, I love Twitter. You know that already. I don't know how Facebook works, but you know it, that when something happens, it breaks on Twitter first.
Yeah, but you don't say it loud like that. Yeah.
Oh, but I love Twitter. So Kwesi Arthur,
Kwesi Arthur with the matter.
You know, yesterday, when I was having a conversation with Bulldog on the news, I've heard a lot of lawyers speak on the matter, you know. Yesterday as well, I think that his lawyer for the record label was on a space that I joined on Twitter and was telling their side of the story.
Right.
I just think, without going into the merits of the case, I just think that we need to encourage our creative arts people to get lawyers. You understand?
Absolutely.
Look, I have heard lawyers are expensive, but let me tell you this, and I'm sure that in the last 24 hours you must have seen a lot of posts from lawyers. A lot of the work that lawyers actually do for these people is mostly pro bono or at a very discounted rate.
Right.
You know, and see, no matter how much a lawyer is charging you, it can never be compared to the peace of mind you're going to have, knowing that a lawyer has reviewed your contract. And I hold this position, right, that when a young man is desperate to blow, has got good talent, everyone says you're talented, someone has believed in you, wants to give you an opportunity, and they say, well, I am going to be the one to give you the opportunity, but you're going to have to sign this agreement.
Yeah.
Even businessmen need lawyers to translate or to explain the contracts that they sign to them. Absolutely. How much more someone who is so naive, don't know what is going on, don't know anything about the music business. All they want to do is to just make music and live off it, make money from it, and just become popular. Some people just want to make the music. I think that, you know, these record labels must do well, make it a must, that they even provide, if you ask me, provide them with lawyers, right, and charge them for it. And I know what some people may be thinking, that maybe if the record label provides the lawyer, it will put in a clause that will not. No, you have your lawyer, they have, and every lawyer is supposed to do what's right by their clients. Exactly. Right. Your conscience and the legal profession does not even allow you to do so. I mean, government provides legal aid to accused persons
who do not have lawyers.
You cannot say that because in a criminal matter or in a murder trial, for instance, because the government has provided you with a lawyer, the lawyer is going to speak for the interest of the government or the states. You understand? It's because I have had a conversation with a few people, you know, and they have said that some of the record labels will suggest to you that you need to get a lawyer. But some of them do not even have access to lawyers. They don't know where to find them. They don't know how to contact. They don't have the money to pay them at that time. For me, the bit about the money is neither here nor there. You want your peace of mind, get a lawyer to review your contract. True. But if you are working with an artist, an upcoming artist, then you can see that this person has no access to a lawyer, does not even know where to find one, please help them and charge them for it. It's better that way. At least even your conscience will do right by you. Posterity will judge you that you actually did make a move to get these people, you know, great lawyers. Because it's sad.
It's really sad, but when this whole issue came out, one of the things that I sought to find out was, so is it the case that the artist in this case did not know exactly what he was signing on to? I think usually the creatives get, like you said, all they want to do is to make music. All they want to do is to get out there, get their music out there, because for all you know, this is someone who's been struggling for about 6-7 years underground. He's been taking his music to DJs to help with play, and all of that is not happening. And so once the opportunity comes, there's that desperation to quickly get it done. And like you said, I remember when it happened, I also texted a friend of mine who I know is a lawyer, recently got called to the bar, and all he said was that, listen, artists need to get lawyers ASAP. Listen, and the matter about cost and all of that, the contract you're signing is going to bring you money anyways. So you can even get to an agreement with the lawyer that there should be a payment plan so that it does not become a barrier, and then years on, you are the one who is going to cry and say, listen, this is the case, I don't have access to my images, I'm being sued for using my own picture. And when you portray it that way, it makes it look like, then clearly they are being extremely insensitive. But the question is, what did you sign to?
Absolutely.
You appended your signature.
Absolutely.
You said, I agree.
Absolutely.
So you have agreed to it.
Yes. And, the music business for some people is actually real business.
Of course.
It's an
big
investment.
Business.
So you think about it. If you make such an investment, would you be willing to just let it go, especially because the person has become popular and they think they do not need
and that's the point,
anymore.
because some record labels have had those experiences where they've nurtured talents, the talents have become really known nationally. The next thing you know, talent says, I want to own my own record label, so I'm out of this contract. And they feel, okay, maybe this is the time that we could also accrue some benefits from the investments we've made. So it's a two-way affair, and I know that, yes, with the statement that Kwesi Arthur put there, it got a lot of people being very emotional about it. Oh, how come? Your own picture, you can't use it, but the thing is that you sign, my brother. And so, in the beginning, before you append your signature to anything, please read them. And we start with our phones. We are downloading apps, and we are just accepting terms and conditions. Then later you come and complain about how the terms and conditions apply, but you didn't make time to read. There are things you would not understand, and that's why you need the service of a lawyer. So get lawyered up whenever you need to put a signature to a document that you do not understand. Get someone who understands, who can explain to you. Because I'm sure that if perhaps he knew at the beginning that this is what he was signing, maybe he would have said, okay, can we reconsider this particular clause in the contract? And in this day and age, it's very important that before we append our signatures, we get people to explain to us so that we don't sign away and then later come to complain about what we have signed onto. We need to really be open about these things. And like Counsel said, if the record label can provide that service and say, listen, as part of the things that we would be charging you for, we're giving you a lawyer who would independently look at the contract in your interest, and then maybe as time goes on, there's a percentage that we would be taking from whatever earnings you make as cost of legal fees. I think that should be the way to go. But hey, quite an interesting one there. And I'm sure that, like you said, by the time it gets to Facebook, it will be solved. But we're hoping it gets solved faster.
Yeah. I think that both parties just need to sit down and have come to some sort of conclusion or agreement. Yeah. Anyway, but we wish both of them all the best. We definitely wish them the very best. Let's now bring you Inside Out. You know that on Inside Out on Fridays, we open the phone lines, give you the opportunity to share your thoughts and opinions with us. Today, there's no court today, but get ready because just like Joshua said, quite a number of things have happened this week. Yesterday, the NPP's presidential aspirant signed the Peace Pact at the Alisa Hotel, right? Yeah. So that happened. The president he's in Davos, right?
Yes.
The president is in Davos
as well. We heard from him yesterday. Aquari said.
Yeah. we are on course. Quite a majority of the people think we're headed the right direction.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you. There are some, and there's some small minority that are undecided or don't want to share their opinion. They are just there yesterday too, we had a conversation with Gabi Asare-Otredako, and I have seen many of you ask him why he came to the studio if he didn't want to answer the questions. Very legitimate concerns and questions, but I must also say that Gabi did come purposely to talk about Africa Prosperity Network.
In a different capacity.
And he said from the beginning that he was not going to discuss politics. But of course, we could not have let him go just like that. We had to try and sneak in a few questions to see how he was going to respond to that. So I can understand that a lot of the people want to hear him speak on some of these things, but I just thought that I should put that out there. Joshua, what else can they call and share?
Well, you can also let us know your thoughts on the poverty issues, multidimensional poverty. We're told by the Ghana Statistical Service that about 950,000 Ghanaians have moved out of the poverty zone, and that's some great news that we are also hearing. And quite a number of issues have also made the headlines. We know Ken was in court in the United States, and we are told that it's been adjourned to the 27th day of April. Sedna Tamaklo was also in court, but very little has been said about her issues on the 21st. She was in court on the 21st, yes, a day after Ken made the appearance as well. Yeah.
I'm told that we have our first call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Serwaa.
Yes, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much. My name is Awal calling from Bimbila.
Okay, let's hear you, Awal.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. I would want to start with the survey that is conducted. I think it's not surprising that the survey is coming out with this evidence that really the current administration is doing well with regards to a lot of things. What it showed is that previously, even if you are somebody who earned 300 Ghana cedis, what they are going to use the money to purchase to consume will be very low because the prices have gone down. It means you can get more to your family. Substantially, I'm going to speak on the issue that has to do with the repatriation of Ken. I think the NPP is not serious. They are not ready to come to power anytime soon, considering the utterances of key members of the party. This is a minister who has held, finance minister for almost 7 years, was the person who had our taxes and distributed the taxes at will. A lot of things have gone on within that period, and you are told to come and account to the Ghanaians as to what exactly you've used our money for, considering the hardship that existed at the time. You flee to United States of America, and as that you are not coming to account. And when you hear the father, that's Frank Davis speak, seriously, I'm so sad.
Well, oh, thank you so much for calling. We have another call on the line.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Alaji Bene Yorubusha. Serwaa Amihere. Serwaa, how are you?
I'm doing well, Alaji. How are you?
Oh, fine. It's a long time.
Yes, so it's good to hear from you, Alaji. Let's go.
Let me send my greetings to my senior brother, Honorable Alaji ABA Kuseni. Benataya for First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and Shamima Musa and her husband, and Chairman of Fosu Ampofa and Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra, and Minister Chief Executive for Savio. Let's look about the MPP star. When you look about these people, they be like they are not serious at all. Because this fact, for what? And you people knowing very well that some people going around insulting Kennedy Ajapon, NPP financial, and they going around insult him. You hear Abonya DC, always Abonya DC, when you sit in radio, insult him. So, and you don't have any directive to give these people or to suspend these people and you come out to say you stand peace path. So we have been waiting to see the end of the peace path. Because, like me, I will not do that. Because we can stand the peace path. After the peace path, you will see something different. And they will give you 0-0 in the Walla Walla area. They will give Kennedy and Brown Achampon 0-0. They should wait and see. Kennedy, Forata, if you know you are not fear for the prosecution, why are you running away to abroad?
Alaji, thank you. Thank you so much for the call. Josh, I think we have another
Well,
call.
we have another call on our Helder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Please, this is Mejina Kwesi, your own, from Bono region, Sunyale.
Okay. Talk to me. What's in your mind?
Thank you very much for giving me this greatest opportunity to also speak of my mind. What I want to say is that I think that in the first place, I was shocked yesterday hearing Honorable Afenyomaki speaking about the need for the party to come together and smoke his pipe. The reason is that he has shown biasness and has exposed himself to the public in the sense that he is the leader of the party in parliament. Majority leader, of course, Michael won. And he was there, and some of the members of parliament on the MPP ticket stood on there and declared their stance for a particular candidate. In Akan, we say, Openi Mate Mante. You should have called them to order. Now, they have shown their belongingness. I belong to this party. So what do you think other parties will feel? Whether they win or they don't win. So you should do elderly things. And again, I was surprised to also hear from the former chief of staff telling the Ghanaians what really caused the NPP to lose. You see, so she was aware of the happening. And what did she do before it arrived, the party arrived to this level? You see, that is why I always tell people that leadership is not about just giving you the position to be there, but their actions. I used to say that in this world, when they give you position, 3 things they are expecting from you. Whether you are knowledgeable, whether you are ready, or whether you are true.
Right. Well, thank you so much for calling.
We'll take our last caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for calling. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
I'm called Gaddafi from Yindi.
Sorry?
Gaddafi from Yindi.
All right, let's hear you.
Okay, let me say good morning to you and Joe. Let me also say good morning to my honorable MP for the independence. So that's Honorable Alasa Abdel Fattah Odisa. Let me start with the fact that LPP signed yesterday. I think it was very, very unfortunate listening to the chairman of the committee and whatever they signed in that pack. Madam Serwaa, I'm not a lawyer, but how can you sign something and say whatever the outcome of the election, the contestant, they should accept the results, or they should support the candidate who wins? Like Alaji said, this is a calculated attempt by the New Patriotic Party election committee and the NEC to rig the election in favor of one candidate. If you go to at the end part of this, the chairman came out and said that if they realize there is a clear evidence that there is some malpractice and they will annul that results. Annulling one constituency results cannot change the outcome of an election. That's what they should understand. I think that was the question that Kenya Yepon was asking and was not signing the team earlier. They should take people serious. We are rebuilding a party with this nature and this kind of pack. Who else does that? Let me come to Kenya Forata. Madam Serwaa, you are working at a GHOne TV. End of your work, they call you to come and account for them when your man is something bad. So an MPP is not ready to help this country. If they are ready to help the country, you should facilitate the coming back of criminal authority to face the law and account for the good people of Ghana. Was it the taxes of criminal authority that he was using? It was our tax. That was Ghanaian tax, taxpayers' money. Come and tell us what we did. Is it not surprising to hear minority saying that the president should fire a Honorable Ablakwa and fire the High Commissioner or Ghana Ambassador to United States of America? What is their problem, or what wrong have they done?
Thank you very much for the call. We appreciate it. Unfortunately, that's all we'll be able to take, but we are grateful for all of the calls. Stay with us. After the break, the guests are here. We'll get into the conversation and review what has been happening the entire week. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere.
And I'm Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Right. Here on GHOne television, and my seniors are here, so it's time to get into the conversations on the breakfast review segment. Welcome back once again, joining us here on the Breakfast Review segment. My guests are seated. Wilberforce Asare is political editor of Asase Radio, and Audu Mahama, he is the managing editor of the Custodian newspaper, and Ibrahim Al-Hassan, who is head of political affairs here at the EIB network. He's in charge of political affairs, current affairs. He's the lead producer for State of Affairs for this show as well. A man who wears many hats. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Kodjo.
And a happy new year to you, Wilberforce. I've not seen you this year, in 2026.
It is well.
It is well.
It is well.
It is still well in 2026.
And I'm happy to see you,
absolutely,
Ibrahim. Yes. I have seen Alhaji already this year, and we had to go and do some things.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And we have been able to do that successfully by the grace of God.
We thank God.
Yes.
We thank God so much.
But this Alhaji people have been calling.
You have to go
this year. I think somebody will have to sponsor me to go because I don't have.
How much do you need?
I don't have
60,000 Ghana
only.
Yes, plus pocket money. So if you have 70,000, I think I'll manage it.
70,000 Ghana.
Yeah, you should start it. I don't have it.
We'll speak to our business partners. Don't worry.
Because our Alhaji ship will be.
Yeah, Alhaji ship will be concrete.
And when he goes there, he'll pray for the sponsors.
Yes.
And then you'll make a lot of money.
Yeah,
you'll make a lot of money. So it's a worthy investment. It's a worthy investment. So
okay, so hashtag make Audu an Alhaji.
Make Audu a proper Alhaji.
Right now, he's a book Alhaji.
He's a book Alhaji.
I remember on mornings that Francis was referring to me as what's the name? Zoom Alhaji.
Zoom Alhaji.
I was
quite interesting, but of course it's been a very busy week for the New Patriotic Party. For instance, yesterday we saw the signing ceremony, and for many who have not seen President Akufo-Addo often, they got to see him yesterday as well. For me, it was a beautiful sight to see Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the public space like that. And but the fundamental was, for me, putting the New Patriotic Party ahead of all the 5 contenders, making sure that irrespective of how the results come in on the 31st of January, the elephant would be the ultimate winner. And for you, Wilberforce, how did all of that resonate with you?
So, I haven't lived so long. I'm a young man, but I have seen a few New Patriotic Party contests. At least I saw. I don't think I saw.
Okay. Well, all of us, just hold your thoughts for me there. Let me come to Ibrahim Al-Hassan. We'll get back to Wilberforce. So, yes. Ibrahim, you witnessed it yesterday.
Yes, I did.
You saw all that transpired. What's your take on that?
Well, I think it's good. I've heard many people say that is the party going to war? Why sign a peace pact? Are people shredding themselves? Are we hearing gunshots? This is just a process, a political process.
Absolutely.
Of choosing a flag bearer. So why sign a peace pact? And I say, why not sign a peace pact? You see? So the absence of trouble doesn't mean that you should not prepare for it, right? What this means is that all the 5 aspirants have committed to respecting the verdict of the delegates. It also means that they are aware that if their conduct goes contrary to whatever undertaking they have signed, there could be repercussions. And more importantly, and I think every political party does that when you lose and you feel bitter about your loss, there should be a laid down process for you to seek redress. But more importantly, stay in the party. Don't leave. It doesn't mean that whenever an undertaking is signed, it is binding to the extent that if anybody wants to leave an association, because it's an association, if anybody wants to leave, you can go to court and stop the person from leaving. No. But at least the symbolism of it is important. I've heard many people throw themselves into frenzy over how Kennedy Agyapong, for instance, took time to comb through the document.
But that's what you should have done.
With his entourage, word for word, and point out a number of things that he thinks are not properly aligned, right? But of course, those are the things for the optics. In the end, the pact has been signed. It's good. But beyond the pact, right, there are many people who feel the National Party leadership has not been able to crack the whip evenly because there are a number of utterances made in the past, made recently, aside Professor Boateng, that I strongly believe should have elicited something from the party hierarchy, the party leadership.
Right.
Justice must not just be done, but it must be seen to be done. And so when you are condemning people for their utterances, it must be even across board. So when you hear people say that, oh, some of them, including even some of the aspirants, ought to have been reprimanded publicly, rebuked publicly, or punished for one comment or the other, they have reasons for saying that. But with this peace pact being signed, I'm sure they can put all that behind them and say that let's start from a very clean slate. I personally was surprised to hear Kennedy Agyapong call Amihere a liar publicly. And it was not a live TV, it was recorded. So what it means is that I went through a process. And somebody in the team ought to have said, no, this should not go out. But it went out nonetheless.
Yeah.
I felt that was a little above the red line. But then again, there are reactions to that. Even the comments that were attributed to Amihere. Who to me, for instance, has issued a statement to say that Amihere never uttered those comments. That Edubwahin lost to Kufuor before the 1996 elections because he was sick and not because he didn't win the presidential elections in 1992. Right? There are others who have come to even reference a book written by Akintena Minka and some others who quoted Professor Edubwahin. There were others who said, in fact, they had to beg Professor Edubwahin to avail himself for the primary because he had virtually checked out. In fact, they said days before the primaries, he was launching his books that he had written. So, yes, this is a chapter which should be a new one, a fresh one. But trust me, if the aspirants have concerns, the party should address those concerns. Just signing a paper would not do anything to stop any aspirant who feels that things are not going right from complaining publicly. Right. So they must put work into the pact. And we say this because as a country, we need a very strong opposition. Sure. See, let's not kid ourselves. I always reference what Mensah said. That got many people unsettled. That by the time they were done with the NDC, they will not be NDC. But then, the NDC was the biggest opposition party. That would have spelled death to our democracy. If indeed, of course, he was allowed to say what he said. He was a politician, a campaign of the NPP, at the point, a minority leader. So, you should understand the point he made and where he was coming from. But I'm saying that if what he said had been allowed to be the reality, our democracy would have been dead. Because at every point in time, we need a strong opposition. Not just to be in readiness to come to power, but to put the governing party in check. To serve as the voice for you and I. Because usually when parties assume the reins of power, there are some bats in their ears. They don't tend to reflect the concerns of the masses. So all the time, it is the opposition that reflects the concerns of the masses. Because the opposition always wants to take advantage. So when the masses are saying this, the opposition will regurgitate and re-echo that for you to believe that the opposition is in line with your interests. That's how you bring them to power. So all the time, the opposition will not swim against the tide when it comes to the voice of the masses. It is the governing party that day after day does things to impact negatively on one individual, the next individual, and then that becomes a group. It becomes an interest, and they are kicked out eventually. That's how it happens. So yes, nobody should waste the MPP bad. It should be a potent opposition to be able to offer potent directions in the interest of our democracy.
And speaking to the NPP folk, it's one of the things they've said that, listen, let's focus on the elections on the 31st. And when we're done, that's when this administration would see what a proper opposition should be doing.
I agree. And before we move on, of course, you related to the president, the former president.
Yes.
I think it was beautiful to hear him speak publicly. Yeah. And what he said about nobody being bigger than NPP
the party. Yeah.
is factual. I've observed, and I think I've realized that he has not declared support for anybody.
And that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. So he has assumed that party elder, supremo kind of posture, right? The supremo elder of the party. So yes, even those who supported me, listen to the 5 aspirants and pitch camp where your interests will be best served.
Right, let me come back to Wilberforce, who was making the point about, the fact that, well, he's a young man, and but he's seen quite a number of MPP elections and internal processes of this nature.
Well, I don't think I've seen a number of them. So I was trying to recollect. I'm saying that I didn't see a Dubois Kufuor contest. I was probably young to even, but I think I saw all of Ekufuado chairman thing. And in the New Patriotic Party, it appears every time there is always a two-man race, even though there may be other candidates. Right. There's always a lead candidate and then a follower candidate, if I can use that word. Right. So, Ekufuado chairman thing, if you recall, 2007, I believe 2010, ahead of 2012 elections, and then 2014 ahead of 2016 elections. It was stiff competition, but we did not see so much acrimony. We saw contest. It resulted in some resignation, that kind of stuff, which was considered to be normal.
Yeah.
We also saw, now after Ekufuado 2014, the MPP went on a kind of a break as far as presidential candidature is concerned, because Ekufuado became president 2016, 2017, and so all that 8-year period for the elections that took place then, they didn't have to do primaries. But 2024 election, they had to do primaries in 2023. And we saw the whole thing. At the end of it, Kennedy Japan himself openly accepted that the election was free and fair at the Accra Sports Stadium where I was. I believe Alaji was there and Deputy Alaji was also there. But this particular one,
Deputy Junior Alaji.
Junior Alaji, okay.
No, this year we'll go
and I'm actually going to offer myself to look for sponsorship for the two of them to go and do, so that somebody also look for sponsor for me to go to Israel.
By that one, you're not adding me to it.
You and I will go to Israel.
He's been there already, but
I went there, but I didn't stay the full haul because I had to leave and go and do something else somewhere. So I was there for 3 days instead of the 1 week. So I couldn't go everywhere. So I still have the opportunity to go back and fulfill all righteousness. Yes. Okay. So this particular one that we have witnessed, this 2025-2026 contest, in my personal opinion, has been unnecessarily acrimonious.
Okay.
Unnecessarily. And I think that probably the New Patriotic Party has not been looking at the circumstances that they find themselves. The circumstances to me are this. you are going to be facing an opposition party that must.
Party.
Is it again?
A governing party.
A governing party, yes. So you are going to face a governing party in an upcoming election who has to present, by all means, a new candidate.
Yes.
That is the premise upon which they probably should have started this whole debate and issue about finding a flag bearer. Because you must look at how that is an advantage to you or how that is a disadvantage to you.
True.
And then also the circumstances surrounding their exit from office in the last election. The circumstances surrounding MPP's exit from the last election was not necessarily about any one individual. In my personal opinion, I think that MPP's 2024 loss was a collective loss.
Okay.
It was collective because if you listen to the party people who ordinarily would have come out to vote for the party who didn't vote, you realize that they were collectively blaming party leadership. And when I say party leadership, I'm not talking about the party chairman or general secretary, or I'm talking about party leadership. And that's because this was the party that was in power. So from the sitting president then to the vice president to ministers to appointees to whatever, you realize that people were collectively not happy with leadership of the party. And that is why they stayed away. So you find yourself with circumstances that resulted in you losing and the circumstances ahead of you as a party. If you give conscious or careful thought to these circumstances you find yourself, you will not go into a process to elect your flag bearer and do it acrimoniously. So for me, I think that the level of acrimony ahead of these primaries has taken something away from the party. That's the reason why all the people who spoke yesterday, the former president, this party is bigger than you all. All the 5 of you put together, summed together, multiplied by 10. All of you, the party is still bigger than all of you. That was a very important message from the former president. What was the message from Afenyo Market? The Afenyo Market's message was, the party is, we cannot win election with the wounded party. Wounded. And they are actually reflecting the fact that the things that people have been doing, you have wounded the party. That's what Afenyo Market was saying. And so you need to heal it. Healing it means that collectively, those people who caused the harm, they must nurse the wound and make sure that they nurse it properly for it to heal. If they don't nurse it, the wound that they created will not get sorted out.
Right.
Yeah. What was the message of other people like Professor Michael Quay? Also came with a very strong message. The chairman of the planning committee, Joseph Osewusu, also came with a very strong message saying that we urge you to accept the results. We have done everything we have to. We have done everything together with all of you. There's no meeting, there's no decision that has been taken without the involvement of all the 5 of you. So you cannot come and stand out and come and say that you are now chickening out after we have gone to vote and the results are coming, because everything has been done collectively with your involvement and participation. So, you see, I'm just going to end by saying that if you asked me personally, I'd have said that the New Patriotic Party, but for democracy, this process they are going through wouldn't have been important. But for democracy. So it is in the spirit of democracy. That's why they have to do what they are doing. But if you ask me in my my right, not my right sense, in my personal view, I think that the party would have been better off just saying that let's support Dr. Bawumia and let him become our presidential candidate than to be going through this process.
Yeah.
Howbeit,
based on the acrimony,
the acrimony we have seen. Now, I am happy that it is ended. But this last week, the
final lap.
This last week, I don't know, but I pray that they will keep it together.
Right.
Yeah. But from my personal view, I'd have thought that this process was needless, totally needless, because of the importance of the circumstances ahead of the party in the coming election. You would just say that, look, you have a brilliant opportunity because your opponent, and look at the history of our country. Nobody has become president at the first attempt. President Mahamad's first attempt in 2012 was a second-term election for former President Mills. May he so rest in peace. President Mahamad did not win that election on his own. He won it as a result of President Mills' first term, which he had to complete for him and then do President Mills' second term. Unfortunately, per our constitution, it counts for him as his substantive first term. That's the reason why he had to go through the mill and then now win a sweet victory in 2024. Joanna, and the thing was so sweet that at some point I think it got into some people's heads, but very soon it will leave. When the thing is so sweet. Akufo-Addo went through the same process. Finally, when he won in 2016, it was a sweet victory. When Kufuor came after Edubuahen's loss in 92, Kufuor came in 96 and lost. When he came back in 2000 and won under the circumstances that Kufuor didn't win the election first round. So Kufuor didn't win the election first round in 2000. He won it the second round with the Great Alliance. So people forget, everybody who will become president in Ghana, the people of Ghana, they have decided in their hearts that we will not let you become president on your first attempt. If we allow you to become president on your first attempt, you probably will take us for granted. So we will allow you to go through the mill. By the time we have finished grinding you and we put you in that chair, you will respect us. You will respect us. President Kufuor respected the people of Ghana. President Mills respected the people of Ghana. I didn't talk about Mills. Mills also went through the mill. Yeah. He challenged Kufuor in 2000, 2004, and then came 2008 and won in a very prolonged election. But it ended up becoming a sweet victory. So the history is clear. And if there are political watchers in the New Patriotic Party who are students of our political history, then they should know that as a political party, they shouldn't be going through such acrimonious process to elect a flag bearer. They shouldn't.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is well. Let me come to I nearly started with Alaji. Which means it is possible this year that I would definitely become an Alaji. But then looking at the final lap of the process to January 31. Do you think the signing of the peace pact would impact really how the candidates go about their final lap? Because this is the make or break for them.
Let me start by saying that I've seen on social media that somebody had to read through the document. He was scrutinous, diligent in ensuring that the writing was done. And I said, this is all propaganda, facade, balderdash. Look, we all heard the chairman of the election committee, right? Yeah. That this document was given to all aspirants 2 days to the signing. So everybody went through it. That's why when they came, they just glanced and started signing. One person decided that I have issues with it. He probably saw those issues when the document was given to him, not because things were changed. What he eventually signed were things inserted before he signed. Were things inserted in the document he signed. and that he was told that, oh, things will be corrected later. Things will be corrected later, you sign. Let's stop this propaganda. It will not help anybody. Look, and the peace pact. This is of persuasive effect. It has no legal binding. It's not binding on. Look, we have seen it before. In 2023, they signed a similar thing. And when some people lost, they decided to quit. Would you bring the person back? This, as IB said, this is an association, voluntary association, where you like, you join, you don't like, you quit. So people may sign this and misbehave. When things get worse, they quit. What will you do to such people? But it's of persuasive effect that if you sign such a document, morally, you should also think of your integrity and all that. That you have signed this document, and that you are committed to it, and therefore you act in a manner that is reasonable, that to all manner of, you act in a manner that is reasonable to all the people in the contest and to yourself, your integrity. But I am sad. I've been mentioned an insult that one of the candidates, Ken, we all saw it viral. It went viral. That he described Dr. Bawumia as a liar. Sometimes people say that he is a person who says that I speak the truth. I speak the truth. I speak all the time. And yet many of the things he says are not truthful. Look, I sit here as Audu Mahama. Do I need to tell people who know me that I speak the truth? Do I need to tell people my character? People who know me know my character. No matter how I behave, they know who I am. It's not by mere saying that I am this that people will believe. People know you. They lived your life. They've seen your life. It's not about saying I am this, I am this. It's about the life you live. The people see the way you live your life. In this contest, it is obvious that all the aspirants, Bawumia has become the target of every aspirant. And I don't blame them because he's a front runner. And everybody wants to undo him to get in front. But it must have a limit. Dr. Bawumia, with all the attacks on him, has not personally attacked any of the aspirants. If any of you have seen Dr. Bawumia attacking any of the aspirants' persons, like insults and all that, the person should be free to say it. He has never done that. Not because because he is trained in a certain way. He's cultured in a certain manner.
I mean, I spoke to his spokespersons. They said he's warned all of them
not
to ever attack.
So there's nobody who is in Dr. Bawumia's team who will speak in a manner that will be injurious to the integrity or the reputation of any of the aspirants. People have mentioned other people. All the people who are speaking against aspirants are not part of his team. They may be his supporters, but you can't control all supporters. That is the thing. To say that somebody, went viral, Dr. Bawumia is a liar, is a liar. Let's look at Dr. Bawumia, whether he's a liar. And this thing has been done. He was only providing some fodder for political opponents. Eventually, when the man wins, then they'll use against him. We've seen it before. Bawumia, people try to put it on, force it into Google. It didn't work. So they are using another arm within the same party to bring it up so that to be used against it. But this will not fly. This is somebody, when you see people say that he's a liar, you ask them, what did he say that you will tell him a liar? You tell him that he has made campaign promises. There will be a stadium built in airport built in Cape Coast. It didn't happen. That makes him a liar. I say, what a check. Promises, you promise political campaign manifesto promise, you are not able to deliver all your manifesto promises and you become a liar. Is that how you describe politicians in Ghana now? The person who describes Dr. Bawumia as a liar has lied several times. This is somebody who said he gave MPP $3 million in 1992. $3 million in 1992. When he was challenged by one of the aspirants in this contest, Dr. Engineer Kwabena Ejiajepo. Up to now, that has not been proven. Is it not a big lie? Is it not a big lie? Somebody said, he has over 7,000 workers in this country. He's been challenged to provide the figures. Up to now, we have not seen those figures. Even when he appeared on a sister station, and he was asked about the number of companies that he have, a number of workers. What did he tell the host? The host, right? Yeah. What did he tell the host? That he will not mention his company because GRA will come after him. The last time he mentioned him, the GRA come after him. You want to be president of this country, you don't want to pay taxes, you don't want GRA to know the number of companies that you have, you call yourself a credible person. There's somebody just recently went and attacked Dr. Bawumia again at Adenta. That Dr. Bawumia did not come to campaign at Adenta constituency because his in-law was contesting on the ticket of NDC. He wanted the NDC to win the seat. And that Adenta seat is a traditional seat for MPP. What a lie. Adenta constituency was created in 2004 under the Kufuor's administration. MPP, how many elections have been done since 2004? 6 elections, right? MPP has won only 2. MPP won in 2004 when it was created, and 2016. How can this be a traditional seat for MPP? And that Bawumia went and campaigned. Bawumia didn't go to campaign because he wanted his in-law to campaign. And people, you are telling this lie to party delegates. And when videos were shown that Dr. Bawumia and his wife actually campaign, move around Samira Bawumia and campaign for the MPP's candidate, you go around telling lies. This is something that the party should be telling aspirants about. Don't tell lies against your... Look, you have ideas. You say you can create jobs. Put that. The job creation is falling. You want to attack your candidate. Look, people think that it is about... That is why people think that you cannot use your personal money to develop a nation. No matter how you say you are industrious and all that, you cannot do that. What develops a nation is actually the ideas and the vision that you have. Look, I always cite, I didn't live to see Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, we're told, did not even have a house in Ghana or in Accra specifically. He came, we all saw the circumstances that brought him to this country. We all read. We didn't see, I didn't see, but I read. Nkrumah did not have a house. He was not an industrialist. He was not a businessman. But we sit here today about the ideas and vision of Nkrumah. The Akosobo dams, the Temamoto ways, the schools that he brought. I am a beneficiary of some of the schools he brought. That is vision. That is ideas. That's what transforms a nation. And not somebody who's an industrialist. If we want people who are businessmen, we must, MBBNDC must as well bring somebody like Sierra Japong. The Zoom Lion man. The man has banks, so he has hotels, he has media houses that employs thousands of people. We should go for such people. Are we saying? I have just mentioned Dr. Nkrumah, the first president of this country. He was not a businessman. He transformed this country. Yeah. We came to the next president, other heads of state like Buzia and all those people. I want to come to the Fourth Republic. Rollins. How many industries did he have? Are we saying Rollins did not do anything they didn't create jobs for this country? It's about leadership. Right. We came to Kufuor. Even Kufuor, they say you could not even manage a brick factory. Didn't we hear that? There was a field lawyer and all that. Within and without. These were things, but party delegates saw something in him. They brought him 1996. Kufuor got 39%. But party delegates that we were going to repeat. We are going to repeat him. They repeated him, Kufuor eventually won. Kufuor did not have the companies and all that. They said he was a failure. Didn't he do things in this country that we still remember him for? His vision, his ideas, the school feeding, the metro mass transport that we all now we are struggling to still put in order. All the things that he did for this country. Free maternal health care. People were going to school, gave birth freely, and he gave license to a lot of people to born freely, to give birth freely.
Professor
Mills came. He was a perfect law lecturer. All the things he did. Did he have companies? Was he have workers? Are we saying that genuinely Professor Mills did not contribute to the development of this country?
Right.
We then came to Nana Akufo-Addo. How many factories did he have? President Akufo-Addo, like John Ajay, who was given the opportunity to go 2 times, was given the opportunity to go 3 times. The first time he went, I hear people say that any that counts improves on the other one. Yeah. That Edubai got 82%, Kufuor got 30%, first start. Kufuor got 39%, Akufo-Addo got 49%. It means that Bawumia should have gotten probably 52% first time. But
so they are saying Bawumia should have won.
Should have won the election.
First time.
But
none of them won.
None of them won first time. They refuse to forget that. Even President Akufo-Addo, even Kandi Akufo-Addo gone. When he got the 49, he was given the opportunity. Yeah. His second attempt, he even dropped to 44. But the party delegates still saw that he was a man to beat. They retained him. He eventually became power. Why do we think that Bawumia will go first time and then get 41.7%? With all the challenges, global challenges, the challenges that each and every one of them contributed to. All the aspirants, with the exception of one. All of them were part of government, with the exception of Engineer Kwabena Agyapong. Why would you heap all the blames, all the problems of this thing on one person who was not even the president? Why would you do that? So this peace pact is good. Yeah. But you see, we must live it. We must see the implementation to the extent that people who misbehave should be called to order. Right. Why would one person think that he is the alpha or omega of everybody? Who has he not insulted in this country apart from himself? Who? Right. Yesterday, people, and even the NDC guys, were circulating a certain video where he called the current president certain words that I cannot repeat on the show. Why? Is that the type of leader we want for this country? Is that the type of culture we want to create in this country? People side Trump. You think that what Trump is doing is the best example for this country, where American culture is different from even our culture? Our culture is to see somebody and insult the person, that the person is this and this. I don't want to repeat those nasty words.
Absolutely.
But this is a contest that, look, I have said it on this platform. At any material moment, MPP delegates, they know what they're about. If they make the mistake for the first time, the party will suffer for it for a very long time. Very long time, read my lips. But I think that delegates are wise and they will not make such mistakes. Absolutely. What they did for John Ajay, what they did for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, I think the delegates will repeat and do for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Very well. Well, we'll take a breather and then we'll come and talk about Ken Ofori-Atta because he appeared in court on, was it Tuesday? He appeared on the 20th. And then afterwards, we've heard quite a number of things. Yesterday, Gabi was in the studio. He also did indicate that, well, he does not think that Ken is not interested in returning to Ghana. But some say he doesn't want to return. We'll get to hear from my guest as well, what do they do make of that. But let me talk to you about MTN Free After One Extra, because for those of you who are already enjoying MTN Free After One, well, the extra is what you need to get signed onto, because what that does is that you get to pay for the first of every 10 minutes in a full hour. So you talk for an hour uninterrupted, you only get to pay for the first minute of the 10 minutes that you talk in the hour. Uninterrupted, smooth, seamless, giving you more time to talk to the people that actually do matter to you. And the good news is that you get 50 megabytes of data free after your first call every single day. All you need to do is to just dial *550#, that is *550#, and follow the prompt to subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra. We'll be right back. on with us. This is still the breakfast review segment of GH Today. It's a Friday, so I'm here with my seniors in the industry having conversations on the region topics. But then let me talk to you about something that you need to be a part of. Now, as a Ghanaian, our heritage is mostly linked to the gold that we pride ourselves in, because when you look at the global markets, we have one of the best golds ever. Wherever you are in the world, you know that Ghanaian gold is the real deal. So imagine owning a piece of that gold in the form of jewelry, artistically made, to make sure that it reflects our culture, reflects our heritage, and reflects, of course, the beautiful pure gold that we have here. And that's what gold bond jewelry brings to the fore, making sure that you are owning a piece of not just something that is good looking, that lasts for a lifetime, but also shows that you're truly Ghanaian, authentically Ghanaian. And so look for any gold bond jewelry shop near you and make sure that you go in there and grab the beautiful rings, the necklaces that they've made from pure, ethically mined Ghanaian gold. And so let me tell you where you can go. Diamond House on the Kimbu Road in Accra. You can get a gold bond jewelry shop there. Also on the Oxford Street in Osu, Marina Mall in Spintex, Otelia Avenue, East Legon, Community 11 in Tema, Ampoma Arcade in Kumasi, and the Prempeh, the First International Airport in Kumasi. Just walk in there, grab something that would definitely make you feel proud to be Ghanaian. My guests are still here. Audu Mahama, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, and Wilberforce Asari. We're talking about the issues. And like I said, I'm sure that you all saw the videos and the pictures of our former finance minister when he appeared in a court in the US, of course, virtually. A lot of people tried to join from here. At a point, some were even kicked out because we were told that Ken preferred to have the hearing in camera, privately, so that we would not have, it wouldn't be open to the public for all of us to get to know what happened there. After that, we're told that, well, the matter has been basically adjourned to the 27th of April. And so for those of you who are waiting for Ken at Kotoka and they are doing demonstrations to get Ken back to Ghana, please, like one of the immigration lawyers said, the US laws don't care about your demonstrations. They follow the law, the evidence that is basically adduced before the courts. And so Ken is not coming. He's not coming in January, February, March. April 27, that's when a determination will be made whatsoever. And that determination can go anyways. He can stay in the US, he can get a green card, or he may be brought back to the country. But then, gentlemen, let me start with you, Audu, on this particular matter regarding Ken.
These are matters that I don't speak much about. These are matters that I don't speak much. But just briefly. I think the legal processes have started in US.
Yeah,
we all saw it, and if it is that Ken will be in Ghana, he will definitely be in Ghana.
Yeah.
If it is that he will not be in Ghana, he will definitely not be in Ghana. These are two things. Mm-hmm. Either he will be in Ghana or he will not be in Ghana.
Yeah.
These are the two things after the legal battle. He will be in Ghana or he will not be in Ghana. Even if he's not in Ghana, the legal processes in Ghana will continue. That is why all this demonstration at the embassy about, and I don't understand why. This is my brother, Bernard Mona. I don't know why he leaves these things all the time. I know he is a farmer. He does a lot of things privately. I think he should concentrate on those things.
But he reserves the right to do
No,
this.
it is good. But see, even Togolese demonstrations he leads. Even people from Togo, even when Togolese are doing their demonstrations in Ghana, he leads. It doesn't got a good image for him.
He's the demonstrator general of
Demonstrator general. No, people do demonstrations, but your demonstrations must be at least, I don't know, meaningful and reasonable. So, what will this demonstration that they are doing, that Arise Ghana, right?
Yes, Arise Ghana.
What will it do? That US embassy, when you go and demonstrate, they just take a flight and then they go to US and then bring back. Is that how things work? Is that how things work? I think, look, all these processes about Ken and all that, I have said that if anybody has been in office and the person probably has done something, you claim or you allege that the person has done something wrong, it's for you to adduce evidence in competent court of jurisdiction to adduce the evidence and then whether when the person is guilty, the person is get the punishment. If you are not able to prove that the person is guilty, the person is set free. My own problem has been the way we have, since this administration came, the way they have tried people outside court premises. That's my major problem. Look, Ken has been tried several times outside the courtroom. They have already found Ken guilty even before he went to, before the matter starts in court. That's the reason why probably he doesn't want to. If he thinks that he may not get fair trial.
Well, that's what we are told, that he does not necessarily trust the processes, that he'll be
because
handled
look,
properly.
if you hold series of press conferences, you have not gone to court to do anything. Press conference already found the man guilty. Why do you think that the man will think that he will have fair trial? And even this one is even strengthening his case. These demonstrations, that you are forcing the man, you are demonstrating that the person should be brought at all costs. They are not doing good to this country.
Right.
They are probably strengthening the hands of Ken Oforiatta. But whatever happens, I think that we have said it here, that you don't need to have Ken physically present in this country before you try him.
But the Attorney General says that, yes, that's an option. Yes. He can be tried in absentia, but he believes that he needs to be here for the trial.
For why? What law says that you should compel the person to go to court, be in court for you to try the person? Why? I'm not a lawyer. Lawyers should be speaking. What law compels him to be physically present before? People talk of criminal trial. Why? Criminal trials, people are not tried in absentia. Don't they do it? Even the person that they said, they were told, former Maslock CEO, that now they have started processes to bring her back.
Yes.
The woman was here when the trial started. She went away. She didn't go to court again. Subsequently, she was sentenced. She is still living in the United States. When this administration started for over about a year, until Ken's issue came out, didn't we have any extradition to bring her back? If Ken has done, if you are in public office, everybody knows that when the time comes for you to account, you have to account. But make it in the manner that the person will not be found guilty even before he frees himself. He tries to free himself. That's not fair. And I'm saying that this thing that people are not talking about, this is about the right for Attorney General for people to know and people to know.
Yeah.
One day, things will get worse in this country. So that when you are accused of something, you are not convicted, you are not even taken to court, and you are found guilty in the court of public opinion by media trial and all that. Eventually you go to court and you are set free. We may even be blaming the court for setting you free because you have already sentenced and convicted and sentenced in the court of public opinion. Right. That's the danger.
Right.
And there were a lot of people who were tried under the previous administration who we never heard of. Why? Because the Attorney General never held press conference to this thing. People mentioned that, how do you call it? We all saw the media pass Attorney General. People said he spoke to the media. Did he speak to the media about any charges, how the person is criminal, has amassed wealth, has bought houses? Have you ever heard him say that? Did you hear him say that? He has criminally bought houses and all that. Did you hear from Attorney General Dami say that?
Right.
This current Attorney General is doing that. And people are not complaining. He's my senior brother. But see what he's doing one day. You see, people say that karma is not very far. Karma is always with everybody. The life you live, karma has a way of teaching you that you brought it upon yourself. Okay. We should be very careful. As for Ken, whatever happens, as I said, whether he comes or he doesn't come, if you feel he has questions to answer, let him answer those questions in the court of law and not court of public opinion, because his lawyers will be here to represent him.
Absolutely. Wilberforce.
Well, okay. So, Ken Oforiatta has served.
My coffee.
Your coffee has that one?
His legacy coffee.
My legacy coffee. I was sipping it and
Yes.
Everybody knows I love
Yes.
Those who know me, they know I
You can
am a
have
coffee
the
man.
additional one.
Yes.
Ask for legacy.
I am a coffee man. Yeah, they all know.
This is especially brewed one. So
coffee.
let
Yes.
viewers know that this is
And with legacy coffee, the good thing is that it has about 12 ingredients,
Yes.
organic ingredients.
That's right.
And it's Arabica coffee. For those of you who know Arabica coffee,
Okay.
And
that is
it
one
doesn't
of the
have
most-
caffeine.
and today my
Yes.
coffee is
Really?
very
It
thick.
doesn't have
Yes.
caffeine.
And this is coffee that works for you. It doesn't work against you.
Okay.
Yes. So
Nice. I'm also a coffee person.
And we are coffee people.
Both of us are coffee.
But today he's fasting. So. Today is fasting. This morning he's fasting, so I'm taking his.
You're taking this coffee.
So, Ken Ofori-Atta has served this country as finance minister. And no matter how you look at it, we must be mindful of the service to the country.
Okay.
And that is because many people are going to come and serve. As we speak today, there are people who are serving this country. So, for example, the current finance minister, Kesel Atufos, is serving the country. Previously, he served as deputy finance minister.
True.
He had a court case. You remember?
Yes.
Went back and forth until the Court of Appeal actually dismissed the case because he said the High Court, the trial court that found that a prima facie case has been made was wrong. And that is where it ended. The then Attorney General went to the Supreme Court to challenge the decision of the Court of Appeal. Then the current Attorney General came to discontinue the Supreme Court case. So effectively, it brought the matter to some kind of an end. Yes. So I'm coming at it from the point of service that people will come and serve this country and go.
Right.
When you have finished serving, you may have challenges, you may have problems coming up after your service. When we talk about those problems and those challenges, we shouldn't forget about the service of the people. Because I remember 2017 when Ken Ofori-Atta was finance minister, he had to use some of his personal connections and establishments to get Ghana under an IMF program then to issue our first Eurobond, the Eurobond in 2017. It was through his connections and associations. Same in 2018 and all that. So no matter how you look at it, he has served the country. But out of the service, an issue has come that we have to deal with. It doesn't mean that we don't deal with the issue because you have served.
Yeah.
We still have to deal with the issue, but mindful of the fact that the person has served. Also mindful of the fact that while you are pointing an accusing finger, the rest of the fingers are pointing at you.
Okay.
There are people who are serving now. They will not serve forever. One day, they will also leave. Somebody might come up with issues about them, just like somebody has come up with issues about somebody who has served and gone. And now we have the opportunity to talk, and people are talking. Hey, when we at Asasi broke the story about Ken's detention,
Yes.
people who didn't know about it, now go on social media and say, yes, we were the ones who went to tell the authorities to arrest him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
if you were the one who went to the authority to tell him to arrest him,
Nobody had.
and if we didn't hear, you didn't tell us. And then somebody else has to break the story. And then you come and tell us that you are the one who influenced the arrest. If you have this big mouth, then you would have told all of us that, look, the day the guy was arrested, you say, hey, me, Mama Yakshino. Would you have done that? You would have done that.
Mama Action, what's it mean?
I've made them arrest him. So the talk and everything has been some way.
Yeah.
And to me, it appears that everybody has forgotten about the service. It's all about the suspicion. And I choose my words very carefully because as at now, it's suspicion.
Yeah.
And see, the framers of our 1992 Constitution put in the Constitution in Article 19 that everybody is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That presumption of innocence that the framers of our Constitution gave to all of us as Ghanaians, it's not supposed to be taken for granted, though. Because if it is far away from you, then you think that, oh, yeah, But sometimes it can come so close. It's like you go to somebody's house, the person has lost their child. Your children are in the house. You can go there and say, oh, don't worry, it's okay. Famanyame, it is fine. Bibi, and the person will be crying, and you don't.
God gives and God takes.
God gives and God takes. You can say all the nice things, but when it comes to your house, and it is your child that has died, it's a different matter. It's a totally different matter. In fact, in the UK, in the Nigeria now, there is a major issue going on in Nigeria about the death of a writer.
The son of
the writer. Chimamanda or something.
The son of Chimamanda.
Chimamanda,
the famous,
the 21 months old boy, I think twin boy, who died after being taken to the hospital, Eurostar or something of that sort. And it's creating a whole big issue. In fact, this morning,
I listened to on BBC
Chimamanda's husband's sister, who is a physician, granted an interview to BBC. And the interview, you could feel the pain. And she herself is a practicing doctor.
Yeah.
So the pain is visible. I'm only saying all these examples because when something is far away from you, it's very easy to push the blame. When it comes close, it's also a different matter. So those who are in authority now, take a cue. Take a big cue from what is happening. Because one day, you'll be out of that space. Because before you came there, somebody was sitting there. Before Atofosi became finance minister, about 12 months ago, Amin Anda was sitting there.
Yes.
Or, yeah, he was sitting on that chair. That same chair, that same room. So once somebody will leave for you to come, but you also leave for another person to come. That's life. So let's tackle this kind of Reata thing properly.
Okay.
He's been charged with an offense. As it stands today, he's not guilty because he has not been proven guilty. He happened to be in the US before the charges were preferred. He says he has medical issues. Now he has also immigration issues together with the medical issues. He can pick his bag today and say, I'm coming to Ghana, before he got arrested. Now he's in lawful detention. There's nothing he can do about it.
He can self-deport.
He can self-deport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He can say, take me home.
So let's assume that he can say that, okay, forget about it. But that also means that if you are not careful, he might not be able to go back to the US without having resolved his immigration issues.
Yes.
So he would want to resolve the immigration issues so that if he comes, he can, and he wants to go back for his medical help, he can always go back and all that kind of thing. If I had immigration issues anywhere in any country, I wouldn't abandon it and say that to hell with you, I'm coming here again. No, because something by all means will have to take you there again. So all these dynamics are there, they have to be solved. Right now, let's allow the rule of law to prevail.
Right.
Because he's in lawful detention. Lawful. He can do nothing about it until he has cleared the issues that have been presented before the court. And we have to allow it. It's no longer like, I don't want to come. Now I am in lawful detention. I can't come. I have to clear all these things before I come.
Right.
So that should be the approach.
Okay. Ibrahim.
Well, so Joshua, I was personally heartbroken, and I cannot say this much enough. I was heartbroken when I saw a video of Ken Ofori-Atta in a marked jumpsuit, right? When I say marked, it's identified, right? And making his way, taking off his jacket, and then waiting for instructions. And then there's an armband there that he's instructed to put on, right? For identification purpose. I was heartbroken. And Wilberforce talks about service. Yes, it dawned on me once again that at a point in time, if you took out President Akufo-Addo, Ken Ofori-Atta will be the most powerful person in this country, as far as the exchequer is concerned, right? As far as our finances are concerned. Yeah. In fact, at a point, if you have dealings with the finance ministry, you might be tempted to elevate that ministry above even the president. Those who have had dealings with the ministry or the sector minister can relate to what I'm saying. Because before you get to the president, for the president to give direction as to what the finance minister should do, it might be too late. Then I asked myself, okay, how about, he says, enough is enough. Take me home. And I also look at the fact that, no, there's a process is going through. It's an immigration process. And mind you, this has got nothing to do with the charges that have been brought against him, the extradition request that we have sent to the U.S., what we know, and overforce related to the fact that some people were trying to take glory. What we know for a fact is that Ghana requested for his visa to be revoked, and that was done. And the AG has spoken to this. Once the visa
When was the visa revoked?
Oh, last year. Yes.
July 2025.
Yes.
You know, I find that claim quite interesting. You know, it has not been corroborated by any
No problem.
official
I'm sure
of the US.
as the case progresses.
And again, I think that, sorry to interrupt you, but I think that if you requested for somebody's visa to be revoked and the person's visa was revoked, I don't see how the receiving country would now say, even though we have revoked your visa, we are giving you time to stay here till some time.
Maybe that's what they say he was staying illegally.
Exactly. So here's the thing.
Maybe
After
they say he was staying
because his visa will have expired next month.
Yes, in February.
In February. The original visa will have expired in February. So we're all wondering why they had to knock on his door. See the wife, see the son, he himself, who by then had their passport with them. He did not have his passport with him because he had submitted it for change in status, as far as his immigration status is concerned. And they obviously will have to whisk you away because there is no document on you to prove that you are in the country legally. And then the AG tells us that the visa, which is to expire next month, was revoked. Until we get counter information from the US authorities, I won't go with what the AG said.
Okay.
Now, the man shows up in court. The argument of the authorities in the US against him being granted bail is that there's already an extradition request from his mother country. So he might become a flight risk if you grant him bail. Then the judge says, oh, that's new information. The man is here over his immigration status. So if you claim that there's an extradition request from Ghana, his mother country, make that available. But in effect, you know what the argument did? As we speak, Oforata is still in detention. Yeah. That was not what his lawyers wanted. His lawyers wanted him to be released on bail as he battled his immigration issues in court. But because of the additional information furnished the judge by the US authorities, before the next adjourned date, the request is that make that extradition request available. My suspicion is that because they will have to still go to a judge in the US to start the extradition process, they might want to do both concurrently. As the immigration issues have been attended to, mind you, that's not ending tomorrow, it's not ending the day after. Yeah. It can be a very long haul. Right? I agree that Oforata might consider the fact that if he self-deports, then it means that he's abandoning his ability to fight the immigration issues to the end and get a remedy. He might say that, you know what, let me fight it to the end. If I get the remedy, which is I want to be able to return to America legally or stay in America or become a US citizen, I can then say that once this battle is over, let me go back to Ghana and go and fight the next battle. But I don't see that happening because of the argument of his legal team as well. The argument is that Oforata can never get a fair trial in Ghana. The charges are political and they are personal. If that argument is to be swallowed hook, line, and sinker, then we can say Oforata will not willingly come to Ghana unless compelled to. And the compulsion can come two ways. He loses the immigration battle, he's deported, or the extradition request succeeds, and then he's brought back to Ghana. Yeah. Subsequently, Sedina Atuenu was also to have her day in court.
On the 21st, yes.
Yes. And we are yet to get an update as to how that even played out. But chances are she will also be deported because she has been convicted.
Yes.
And she is to be brought back to go and serve
her
time in jail. That is depending on how her legal team decides to approach this. So you see, I agree. Oh no, depending on how.
You see, I like the way you have brought the legal team.
Oh yes,
because her colleague who was convicted has been given bail now. Is it not?
Yes.
Pending appeal.
Pending appeal. Yes. So that's a legal option available. But see,
so it means that the lady can land today and tomorrow she's given.
When she lands, you go to jail for that automatic.
But
they are not. If they are not.
Yes, but within 24 hours she can also get bail.
You can put any timeline on it. But the point is that when she comes,
get a presidential pardon.
Or she can even get presidential pardon.
That will not happen.
Why? Anyway, are you the president?
We don't expect that to happen. We don't expect that to happen.
That will not happen.
So we don't expect that to happen. So what of us? See, I agree with you that there's an adage in Akanda, who your phones are not held here, right? To wait when you are consuming the carcass of a baboon, especially the limbs, the fingers. Look at yours. That animal looks like you and I, like a human being, right? So whatever is happening to Konoforiata, should be a guiding principle to people serving us today.
Right.
But then once you agree to take a political office, be ready to avail yourself to the demands of accountability, no matter what.
Quite interesting. But then we are told he's in high spirits. Gabi confirmed that yesterday, that Ken is in high spirits, and he knows Ken. He's not a guy who breaks easily. So we just wish him well, and hopefully we get to see how the things pan out with regards to his particular development. But then recently...
But something has been bothering me. This whole system of law, legal battles and all that. How much is involved in Ken's alleged crime?
Oh, the OSP put out a figure. We can get it for you. The SML, at least it's SML. But the AG has also disclosed that
he also has
other
matters.
Investigations.
But we had other matters serious in court that were discontinued. Of criminal nature, financial laws and all that. What kind of thing? You've discontinued.
But those are options available to the AG as well.
Exactly. So what do we want for this country? What do we want for this country? We want to punish people who are...
The law is the law.
Okay.
All right, so quickly, I want us to talk about the statistics from the Ghana Statistical Service that we've had about 950,000 people move out of poverty from quarter 3 2024 till quarter 3 2025, and 20% decline in multidimensional poverty.
Well, I don't understand the dynamics of multidimensional poverty and all that.
Yes.
But see, anything that will improve the standard of living of our people is welcome news.
Absolutely.
But I don't think that we should use it for political settings, because I think the settings is too much. I think the slightest opportunity is like somebody must do settings with some information,
but we are resetting. So you should understand.
So resetting and then settings.
Yeah, you set to reset.
Okay. So as part of reset, you always be doing settings.
Yeah. You set to reset.
But
you should understand.
The settings, as you and I know it, in the Gen Z world, it's like you are. I don't know how to see it, but it's like you don't have a car. You've never bought a car before. You've seen some nice woman. You want to go and follow the woman. So you think that you must go with a car. You go and rent a car. And you go and you roll the keys like that. And then they ask you, this is my car.
People still do that.
The first time you went with the car, and the person sits in the front, and then you go on a ride. Notice that forever and ever, you are going to have to rent that car. Because the day you don't go with that car, it means that something is going wrong.
Settings nothing.
So please, this settings thing, I'm worried about it. Especially doing settings with the Ghanaian economy. The economy...
the economy is doing well, though.
The economy is not Please, oh.
You have not communicated. You have not communicated. Communicate.
You land with that word. The economy is not what.
No problem. This guy, there's nothing in his pocket. So that's like me.
But your economy is not his economy.
Yes, I've always said that. But you see, in this matter, his economy is my economy. Because we all live in Accra. He doesn't have anything in his pocket. I don't have anything in my pocket. So our economies are the same.
I don't know, but the economy, we do settings with it.
Are you sure? Inflation is down. Dollar is
down.
Is down.
Yeah.
What do you
CDs
call
up.
it? CD is up. So these are not
Okay.
Fuel is down.
down.
These are indicators. You know.
All of them. So we are setting.
Oh,
It's
we are,
setting.
no,
We are resetting.
this one is proper resetting. This one is proper resetting.
So, but we all know that.
One of us cannot make the point. One of us just make the point.
I'm just going out of the abundance of caution because of the kind of code card you people can do in this house. So I'm going very cautious. But
The one that
let's come back to the statistics.
Yes.
I'm just suggesting that let's be measured with the way we are
The
doing
figures.
settings with things, because you see, the reality is always there. It's like someone told me that in Ghana, Greater Accra is like the screensaver. When you shake the mouse, the screensaver will just vanish, and you actually see the desktop, and you can access the files. You can see what is inside the files, and you see that, Charlie. The other time I went to Circle, and I'm ending. I went to Circle, the Tiptoe Lane area there, and I was walking somewhere. Then I think I wanted to. Somebody was giving me the issue to go and do something, and I needed to wee. So I went off and asked somebody, where can I? Then I went off the main street, and I entered a place. I said, hey, this is here.
That's the reality.
I was shocked. So I just realized that when you are walking on that tiptoe lane like this, and you are seeing people selling to the left, people selling to the right, it's a screensaver. When you exit and you enter the back end, the things you see. So I'm only saying that the economy and all these things cannot be treated as we cannot treat it like a screensaver. Where we are, some of the screensavers, you see very nice things. I remember when computers started coming, there was a screensaver of some boy who was dancing. He was always dancing like that. Everybody was using that screensaver. When you shake the computer, the mouse, the screensaver vanishes, and you see the desktop. Then you see the real things that are inside the computer.
Okay.
So let's stop the settings.
Okay.
If they are realities, let's put the realities there. But
the
settings,
reality is that poverty has dropped.
Okay.
Yes. How do?
Okay.
Briefly, because you need to go.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
We are talking. You are saying 950 people. 50,000
people
have moved from what?
The poverty zone.
Where is
They have
it?
been elevated from poverty.
Is it in the rural Ghana or urban
the whole
Ghana?
of the
whole
country.
country.
Yes,
Now you are
regions.
talking of multi-dimensional poverty has reduced. When you talk of multi-dimensional poverty, right? You are talking of issues that measure this.
Yes.
Like education,
healthcare,
sanitation and all that. Shelter and all that. And the indicators are not health insurance, attendance in school, building of even toilet facilities, sanitation. How far has this government gone with all these things? We need to know the figures to be able to reduce the multi-dimension that we are talking about. How far? Chips compounds, they will promise 600 chips compounds. How many have been built within the year? That will promise. Is it 60 or 600? 600. Education. What is the level of, attendance, access? What's the level of access? You talk of the health insurance. How far have we gone with the health insurance? We talk of even, the other indicators. How far have we gone? We don't have real figures. It's just that we have reduced. Let's see, in the rural area, I see in the report that the rural Ghana is still very, very poor. Poverty is still very, especially Savannah in Northeast. Still, poverty levels are still very high there. What are the indicators? These indicators, have we given specific figures to indicate that these things have moved up? like toilet facilities, health insurance, and all that. We should be giving figures. These will actually concretize the phrase that multi-dimensional poverty has reduced. If we don't see real actual figures in these trends, like sanitation, as we said, health insurance and all that, it will then be meaningless.
Okay.
We'll just mention them, we'll not see any impact, because poverty is actually there.
Yeah.
So if you say that 950,000 people have moved out of poverty, it may sound good, but is that the reality on the ground? Until we see real figures, I'm not sure we should be jubilating.
And I'll give the final word to Ibrahim Al-Hassan on that.
I think so. Any figure that says even a single person has been lifted from poverty,
yes,
it's a good thing, right? See, the indignity of being poor, Joshua, you can't even imagine. And for us to think that there are people in rural communities, right? Some of them have had their lives better. It doesn't matter where the source of this betterment came from. It's something worth celebrating. We should still attend to the disparity between the north and then the south, right? The disparity between the urban and then the rural poverty. In fact, there's even poverty in urban Accra. There's poverty in urban Kumasi. We should, as a nation, right, consciously be able to work towards moving many more people out of the poverty than we are even reporting. We should have the next report that comes out say that additional 1 million people have been moved out of poverty, because poverty is nothing to celebrate. The indignity of it, the stigma of it, is something that we must all run away from.
Absolutely. Well, so thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, Audu, and thank you, Wilberforce. But before we go, let me talk to you about this product from Legacy Life, giving us products that... Let me talk to you about the first one, reishi extract powder. Now, if you're someone who struggles to sleep and you are always stressed, that is like all of us. We are stressed. Everybody's stressed. So the reishi powder is super good for you, and it's not that powder that puts you to sleep and it makes it difficult for you to wake up. In fact, you wake up very refreshed for the next day. The lion's mane is for me, I think it's for the businessmen, those who are making decisions every single day. You're looking at the top decisions you need to make. Your brain has to be really boosted. If you want that brain boost, you want to feel energetic, the lion's mane is there for you. Now, for the children in the house, they can drink some really beautiful hot coffee from Legacy Life. And then the coffee that we are having this morning, that has about 12 organic ingredients to make sure that the coffee is working for your body and not working against your body, helping you to be in top form, be really, really attentive, be in good shape as well. And that's the Legacy Life coffee for you there. So look up Legacy Life, follow them, find them, and then get your products as well. They are excited to be a part of the show every single day. So yes, Legacy Life bringing us the coffee, the hot chocolate, lion's mane, and the reishi extract powder. You can also follow them on social media and know where to get the products. But after this, we have that interview with the Member of Parliament for Gushegu, former Deputy Transport Minister Hassan Tampuli. He is next on the show. Stick and stay with us.
You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere. And on Hard Talk this morning, I sit with lawyer, second-term member of parliament for the good people of GHOne constituency. He's a former CEO of the NPA from 2017 to 2020. He is currently the deputy ranking member on the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. He's a deputy ranking member for the Roads and Transportation Committee because he's a former deputy minister for transport. And he's also a member of the Assurances Committee, you know. And there's actually one other position that many people don't know that you held. He was the deputy HR at the National Service Authority, right? He was in charge of postings.
That was like 2006?
Yes.
Thereabouts.
Good morning.
Good morning, Serwaa.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, Leonard Council.
How's Parliament? I haven't interviewed you since you became member of Parliament.
That's right.
And this is your second term. How has it been?
Well, it's a transition that is sometimes natural in the political space. But in my case, I would say that I was an accidental candidate in 2020 because of the circumstances, you know, of the constituency at the time. And so I was prevailed upon to come. So I went to Parliament, should I say at the time that I was not ready to go to Parliament. But of course, I have to make do with the best of the situation. So it's been a transition from, you know, actively involved in corporate governance as a CEO to a legislator, and then pushing, lobbying, and trying to transform the development of the constituency. And I believe by and large, we've done the very best that we can. We've been able to, for instance, I'll give you one example to put it in context. So we first got connected to the national grid electricity in 1996. That is the constituency, GHOne itself. From 96 to 2020, that's 24 years. Within that period, we had 28 communities connected to the national electricity grid.
Okay.
Within 4 years of my being MP, I connected 50 communities.
Wow.
So 24 years, we were able to do 28, and then within 4 years, I was able to get up to 50 communities connected. And I still have about 15 more communities in the pipeline at various stages of completion. Some need just transformers, some electricity cables, poles, and so on and so forth. So basically that's what we do this, and we mark ourselves. So we set our own questions, we set the benchmark, we reach an equilibrium, we distort the equilibrium, and then we set new targets. So basically that is how we do this work. How many schools did we have in the constituency that were functional? And then you look at the total number of schools. And on my own side, for instance, I've been able to renovate not less than 15 school blocks. 15 school blocks. And then during my time as MP for the last 4 years, I've been able to at least get about 5 school blocks active. And there's a community, second largest community in GHOne called Patinga, that deserve to have had a secondary school all these years. For the first time, we are trying to get them a secondary school. The block is completed, 12 classroom block. And I believe in the next coming days, we should be able to commission it, and then we'll get one more secondary school to the secondary school that we have had in GHOne since, I believe, 1991 or so. So we have to set a target for ourselves based on what we met, and then so that by the time that we leave a legacy. Essentially, that's what it is. If you go to GHOne Township, for instance, the entireship of GHOne Township roads have been tarred, except for just about 1 kilometer that we left in December 2024. So there were places that had no roads. You couldn't even ride a bicycle to pass through those places. We've opened up those places, tarred roads, and for the first time, people are seeing coal tar For some people, since they were born, they probably haven't, worked on quota in those places, but for the first time. There were places that they used to call one village, one dam. That's like a road. But it's never had any bitumen surface on it before. And they used to call it one village, one dam. When it rains, nobody can pass there. Today, it's one of the first-class roads that you can find in the township of Gushegu. There's a place called Kunayele. Kunayele is just abutting Gushegu. It's more or less inside Gushegu. It's one of the electoral areas. But it used to be cut off completely in the rainy season. This time around, you can close your eyes, ride your motorbike or bicycle, and you can go all the way. The road has gone even way beyond Kunayele, going to connect to some other communities, all right? And you take a place like in the heartbeat of Gushegu, the city center, the town center. Those days when it rains, anybody who comes from Gushegu, anybody who visits Gushegu can, would see the place as an eyesore. Today, so
you've done a lot of work.
So basically, we've done almost about 80 kilometers of roads.
Wow.
Tarred, and then there were roads that hadn't been engineered before. Like no machine had passed on them before. Today, some of them have had, machines pass through them before. So like I said, about 80 kilometers of roads, feeder roads, highways, and urban roads put together. We've been able to do the very best that we can do for the good people of Gushegu. We put up new health centers, done cheap compounds, and so on and so forth. And I believe that there's a lot more that we can do to help the people of Gushegu. And today, as I speak to you, there is no water problem even in the dry season in Gushegu. We've expanded the water system. So every part of Gushegu has water all year round as we speak in Gushegu Township. Then you have some other communities, that need boreholes and dams. For those that need boreholes, sometimes it's very, very sad that we try to sink boreholes, and there's a community that I've tried about 15 times. The water table is very, very low. So it becomes very, very frustrating. So sometimes what happens is that you need to just do a dam for them. They drink the water just like their livestock and so on and so forth. So that's what kills me. I don't like the idea of people drinking the same water with their livestock. That's not appropriate, okay? So it becomes difficult for me to even think about drinking such water. So why would my people be drinking that water? So we have to look for a better solution. Go try to dig maybe a bigger dam somewhere and then try to pipe the water all the way into the community. We've done it in some communities.
People must be very happy with you then.
Oh, of course. I come from there, all right? They are my people. My father comes from there. My mother comes from there. Even though I was born in Nima, but that is where I come from. And so I take their welfare as mine. My father still lives there, all right? My father lives in Zinondo. As we speak, my mother is in Gushegu. So she goes and comes. She lives in Accra, but she's always there. My family members are there. So I believe that whatever I do for the people, I do to them because they have some expectations of me. And they believe that I'll have the very best in my heart for them.
Will you run again in 2028?
My mandate is for 4 years. I think I've just done 1 year. And so I would wait.
You've done one, okay, you mean for
I've
the
just
second
done
term?
Second term, I've just done 1 year. And so normally you don't decide whether you run or not. You decide to run based on what you have done. And so if by the next 1 year or 2 years, I believe that I've been able to discharge my mandates to the best of my ability and to the satisfaction of the people, then I can make a decision. But for now, if I say I'm going to run, it's like I'm going to run as of right. No, that's not how it's done. You have to be able to make that decision based on palpable,
successes,
deliverables that you are being able to give to the people. Okay. If you assess yourself and you find that you have not been able to deliver to the good people of Gushegu, why do you have to worry? Okay, so like I said, we are a work in progress and we continue to do our very best. I've put up a community center which hasn't been commissioned yet. I believe it will be the biggest, if not one of the biggest in the country currently. One of the most modern in the country. I believe when we are going to commission it, we will invite you to come over and then it will be one of our special guests.
I'd
so
love
get
to.
ready. We'll send you the invitation.
I'd love to. So, I mean, all these things that you have done for the people, you did it out of your pocket?
So this is what happens to members of parliament. A member of the parliament must be able to have lobbying skills.
Okay.
All right. You should be able to attract investors.
Okay.
So I'm going to my constituency. I need ABCD. You should be able to have people, a network of friends, associates, completely charitable organizations that will be able to support you. It's not going to be easy for you to take everything out of your pocket, all right? And even though we do that all the time, but you have to rely on a network.
Okay.
And I believe I'm sufficiently well networked and I'm able to get all the support that I need to be able to fulfill the mandate that has been given to me. So I do a lot from my pocket sometimes. Okay. All right. And then I heard one of my colleagues saying that he spends about 30,000 cedis a month on funerals. My assistant is here. He will tell you already how much we have spent this year alone.
How much?
It's just 22 days. It's just 22 days. He will tell you how much we have spent. But it's quite a lot of money. All right.
How much have you spent?
Well,
how much averagely do you spend in a month?
Oh, so he said he spends 30,000 cedis.
Forget about his.
All right.
How much do you spend?
We spend more. I think I'll leave it at that. We spend more.
100,000, 80,000.
We spend more. That's all I can say.
So what do the people ask for?
Jobs,
favors, or personal favors?
Or? So for instance, there are people who need assistance to pay their school fees.
Okay.
For instance, now.
What school fees? Free SHS. I mean, there's
no.
Free
So these are tertiary students.
Okay.
So mostly my support goes to tertiary students.
Okay.
And this year, for instance, I intend to support about 300 students. In my constituency, if you are a law student, I pay your fees in full. All right? If you are an engineering student, I pay your fees in full. If you are a medical student, I pay your fees in full. Why? Because I want to encourage many more of my people to join these kind of professions. The more such professionals that you have, pharmacists and so on and so forth, the more development that you are likely to get, okay? Because they will raise critical questions of policymakers, government, and so on and so forth, about their own communities. They will support the local people so that they will be able to serve as the conscience of the people. In addition to having a job for themselves and then supporting their various families and communities, they will also be able to speak on behalf of the community. So I need many more of such people, you understand? And so teachers, universities, students, and so on and so forth. So far, I've supported almost about 840 students. And this year alone, like I said, I'm trying to do about 300 more students. And that also tells you that we are not just doing the development, the hardcore development, but we're also doing the soft one, capacity building, human capital development, and so on and so forth. So those ones are also very, very key on our plates. And so our people generally just need development. Okay. They need good water to drink. They need farm inputs. So currently, about 95 to 98% of my constituents are farmers. Even me, I'm a farmer. All right. Now, the challenge that my constituents have is that the farming season is over. They have gone to harvest soya beans, and we mostly do soya beans, maize, rice, yam, and so on and so forth. Last year, or 2024, thereabouts, they used to buy a bag of soya beans for about 700, 800 cedis, even up to 1,000 cedis, including even a bag of maize. Now, this year, you carry a bag of maize to the market, and you are lucky to even sell it for 250 Ghana cedis. And these are people used to harvest, and this is the period that we normally perform our big funerals. So they save the money and they use it to sometimes perform funerals. And this is the time also that they do real estate. They put up buildings, some of them go put it up to the certain level, and when they harvest, they go and roof. And so it's a pattern. This year, not many people have been able to do this because the market price has gone down. So you buy fertilizer, you buy farm inputs, you buy all the seeds at the price on the markets. At the end of the farming season, you are coming to sell and you are selling it for about a quarter of what you are selling it for. So government has to watch it. Next year, there will likely be a situation where people will not be able to farm. And so we need to put government on the alert to be able to support farmers with farm inputs for them to be able to. Otherwise, we are going to have some shortages, especially farm inputs, seedlings that are going to come. People will not be able to buy them.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's move away from your constituency a bit and well, talk about the roles that you've occupied. Very shortly before we go into the NPP primaries. You have served as a Deputy Minister for Transport. You've served as the CEO for NPA.
That's right.
And now you are on various committees in Parliament. Which one is harder? What would you say is harder?
Well, you see, opposition is a very easy task. Opposition is a very easy task. Sometimes it looks like it's a very difficult thing, but because sometimes what you have to do is just to raise issues, raise concerns, criticize, and then the government will look for solutions. You are not even obligated to profess solutions. All right. Sometimes you are not even obligated to profess solutions.
You just have
to raise. You see, you are part of the governance architecture, and so you will have your policies.
Right.
I have to raise issues, concerns about the policy that you are bringing. And of course, if you look at what is happening in Parliament, for instance, because of the overwhelming numbers of the majority, sometimes we are making laws, especially at the consideration stage. You raise issues about a particular draft, bill. And then the majority, as many as I ever say aye, and then they just say aye. So we have decided that we won't do much since our views don't matter that much. So we'll just raise the issue. If you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, we don't even contest it. But for the procedural propriety, the Speaker will always put the question as many as if and so on and so forth. But we would always raise the questions, we'll raise the concerns, and then we'll leave it at that. So it makes your work much, much easier because you know that you'll be outnumbered anyway. And then the issues that you raise, even though sometimes they will go all the way and come back to the issues that you have raised. And say that, this person was right after all. But because he's coming from the minority, they just poo-poo everything. So basically that's what happens. And so you have to take a laid-back situation and then know that, look, we are in this country, we are doing this together. When laws are passed, they are passed by Parliament, not NDC or MPP. Okay. And that is the spirit in which they should be looking at some of these things. But very often you find that, once the amendment is being proposed by somebody from the minority, then you see that avant-garde will marshal forces and say, hey, his people should say aye. And then, of course, that is the chief whip of the majority, my very good friend. And so, basically, those are the things that happen. But
so
all
in
all,
essence,
but you see, the difficult one definitely will be when you are in government.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. For instance, when I was chief executive of the MPA, there were times that I couldn't sleep for more than 4 hours. Because even as you are sleeping, your mind is still processing a lot of things. What if by morning there's a gas explosion somewhere? You understand? What if by morning there's some international dynamics which will change the pricing situation and prices will go through the roof? You understand? What if by morning some truck has... So basically, whatever happens in the downstream petroleum sector comes up to you. There were times that we had just about 4 or 5 days storage of petroleum products in the country. But we couldn't say it to the nation because the facility that we use to import petroleum products into the country, All Boy Beef, the CBM and the SPM, has been ruptured by some fisher folks. And it's not working. And we are not able to bring in petroleum products in the country. How are you able to sleep? You can't say this to the country. Otherwise, there will be panic buying and so on and so forth. Prices might be distorted and so on and so forth. So some of these things, you can't sleep. You wake up in the morning and then some geopolitical situation like what's happening in Venezuela, probably just if there was some amount of resistance to the arrest of the president and so on and so forth, you don't You cannot imagine what that would do to the present situation. Immediately, the markets would, be distorted. And so you wake up in the morning and you are thinking, what do we do? You start calling your minister, your board people. You start calling, or you even start getting calls from the media, from your bosses, and so on and so forth. How do you sleep? It's a very difficult situation.
Okay,
you understand?
I ask you that.
Yeah, and apart from the staff situation that
you have to deal with.
Exactly. So
I ask you that because of what's happening currently with the transportation, system. The current transportation minister and his deputy, they've come under a lot of fire. Some have asked for them to be sacked, to resign, and whatnot. You have followed the story. You have seen what is going on. As a former deputy transport minister, what is your honest assessment of what's going on? Is it really a supply problem, like we're being made to believe, or it's a policy failure issue that we haven't been able to put enough buses in the system to cater for our transportation needs?
So it's a mixed bag of issues. Generally in the transport sector in this country, the private sector, is responsible for nearly 80% plus. If I had a number of trotros in the country, and then you see one Yalalo bus and probably one, Metro Mass and all of that. So mostly they are run by the private sector. And as a government, what we did was to support the GPRTU, Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, GRTCC. Sometimes we support them with, facilities to be able to procure buses, to put on the various roads so that, they'll be able to do the part that the government is not able to do. As our government or our party's philosophy is to create an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive. And so what we used to do was to engage the private sector as often as possible so that we'll be able to support them. And so what you find now is failure maybe in terms of policy, all right, because some of these situations arise. So for instance, last year, if you look at this year's budget, they tell you what the government was supposed to do in terms of the transport sector last year. You look at the budget, and there's not one line item that says that these number of buses were procured for Metro Mass. You understand? In the last 2-3 years before we left office, for Metro Mass alone, we supplied them over 100 buses. And in one instance, I went to Belgium, Netherlands, we went and inspected them, and then the buses were brought into the country. We inaugurated them at the State House. President Akufo-Addo inaugurated them for the use of the Metro Bus. So what you do is that Metro Mass is essentially providing a social service. When they pick school children, they don't charge them money. When they pick the elderly, they don't charge them money. When they go to buy fuel, they pay just like any other person. So naturally, they are not able to make profits as much as any other transport company. So what you do as a government is to be able to provide them enough cushioning, give them more buses, give them more parts to be able to service broken down buses and so on and so forth, so that they will. And then in addition to that, the private sector will also be doing their parts. And last November 2024, former Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, commissioned some 10 electric buses. We had ordered for 100 electric buses, basically to be able to provide some transport services at much more reduced lorry fares. And the records show that we were charging transport fares on various routes at least 2/3 of what should have been charged. All right. Now 10 of the buses came, we inaugurated them, and up to now, 90 that was supposed to be brought into the country, the contract that we signed with the contractor to bring it down, has still not been delivered. Now the plan of our regime and our party and in our manifesto was to provide about 1,000 electric buses. You provide those buses, they are no longer going to be internally combustion engines, ICEs. The parts that you have in the electric buses are about 1/3 of the parts that you need. They don't have to use the diesel, no transmission, no nothing, none of those things. And so the parts that you service in an electric buses is way lower. So the cost of operation, the cost of maintenance is way lower All right, and that translates into the lorry fare that they'll be charging. In addition to that, it also adds up to our responsibility in reducing the carbon footprints in the country. So if we have about 1,000 buses in the country, all you needed to do was to provide a lot more charging infrastructure along the Accra to Kumasi Road, along Accra Stakrade, along all the way to Elubo, Accra Flower, and then beyond Kumasi, you should be looking at going to Bupe, to Tamale, and all the way to Bogatanga and Paga. Those are the plans that we had. But of course, new king, new law. They decided not to bring in the buses. They decided not to procure buses for the Metro Mass, and they also decided not to support the private sector to bring in buses. And so the result is what you see, shortages. Now, in addition to this, we also had plans to do what we call the contra flow. And what do we mean by contra flow of traffic? So for instance, in the morning, from Accra to Legon, if you have noticed, Accra to 37 to airport to Legon, traffic flow from 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m. is not that heavy. All right. On the other side, from Adenta, Medina, all the way to Accra, become heavily packed as far as the traffic is concerned. Sometimes it's bumper to bumper. All right, gridlock. Now, what we were looking at doing was to do a situation where we flow the traffic from the rush hour time onto the other side. So you block 1 or 2 lanes on the other side, and then you let people who are coming from Medina, Adenta airports, so that they'll be able to flow more.
Right.
So that in the evening, when the rush hour is towards the other side, then you again will do what? You block 1 or 2 lanes on this side and let them also flow all the way. That is a game changer.
So why aren't these people doing that?
It's not rocket science. You understand? It's not rocket science. Some of these things are provided in our manifesto. Yeah, in our manifesto.
But you are on the committee. You are ranking on the transport committee.
These matters have not even been brought to the committee's attention.
But
of course,
are aware. You know what
Parliament
is
on
going
recess, for instance, and so we will be able to call, ministry to come, and then we'll engage them to find out what solutions that they have. Parliament, I think, is resuming on the 3rd or 4th of next month.
Would you generally say you are impressed with the work of the current minister and his deputy for transport?
So I'm not too sure about what work the minister has done in the past, apart from being in Parliament. And so I hesitate to...
When you say you're not too sure, you mean you haven't seen anything from the ministry that shows...
What I'm saying is that, you see, so we all have... So you spoke about my background as far back as a national service, when I was deputy head of HR, when I was director of postings, and so on and so forth. So maybe I have had some, stints in the public service. Now, what I'm saying is that I'm not sure about the minister's background. But what I do know is that he's new in the ministry. And so for me, I hesitate to judge him based on his performance for 1 year. I need to give him time.
But so far?
I need to give him time.
So far?
I think, the average, I think he's doing his best under the current circumstances. Because, for instance, there were issues about flight fares. When you go to buy a flight ticket, the fares were very high. And they said that it was because of the exchange rate. Exchange rate has improved. Have you seen any drop in the airfare tickets? There hasn't been any drop. So what are we doing about that situation? You understand? The situation has to change. If the exchange rate was a factor that made us move from about 500 cedis one way to Kumasi to now about 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 cedis, with the stabilization and, as a matter of fact, the improved forex, situation, why is it not reflected? You understand? So, have taxes been increased in that sector? We need to answer that question. Forex has fallen. What else determines the rates? The ministry should be able to engage the airlines to look at the situation and then make a very firm case about the reduction. For instance, prices of petroleum products are falling down. And if you look at the trajectory, I'll give you the numbers. It's not just about anything local, but it also has to do with the international rates. And because of my background, I check out some of these things all the time. And so I'll give you some trend. For instance, January 2024, petrol at the international markets was going for 753, and then diesel was going for 782 metric ton. So then you come all the way down to now. Let me go to even 1st January 2026. From 753, it has come down to 620. You understand? And this last window, 16th January to 31st January, the price is $613 per metric ton for petrol. And diesel is 617, down from 782. So price of petroleum products on the international market has fallen this heavily. It should reflect at the pump. All right,
Hasn't
and it is reflecting. It should even reflect more, but for the D levy.
So it has, but you want more of it.
It should, yes, exactly. This is what we are saying. This is what has happened on the international market. So the prices should have fallen even further down. Now, the cascading effect of that is that lorry fares must also come down. Have we seen any reduction in the lorry fare? Have we seen any reduction in the lorry fare? So the ministry has to take this up and then deal with the transport operators so that we're able to, the Ghanaians must feel the benefits of the deregulation. And the essence of deregulation is that when prices go up, you pay. When prices come down, you get the benefits of the reduction in the price of petroleum product. So I think Ghanaians deserve more benefits under the current regime than we are getting. We should be buying petrol for about 8 cedis now. Shouldn't be buying anything above 10 cedis. We should be buying for about 8 cedis.
But they will tell you that it's better than when you were in government.
That is, we were buying it for 753. It is not our government. It is the international market that determines it. You understand?
Okay. I wish we could talk more about the transportation sector because I see that you have a lot of interest in it, but because of time. Let's talk politics now. Okay. So in 10 days, your party will be going to the polls to elect a flag bearer.
10 days is 8 days.
Is 8 days? Yeah, is it? 31st?
Today is 23rd.
Oh, right, true. In 8 days. Forgive me.
We are in a hurry. So we are counting down.
You'll be going to the polls to elect a flag bearer.
Absolutely.
Hoping to bring or get victory for the party. You have openly endorsed Dr. Bawumia. Why Dr. Bawumia?
So I think sometime in 2018, Bolare hosted me in your other studio.